Kelly Nelson, and I am live here from Portland, Oregon, and I'm just sharing with you guys a little bit of Pilates during this crazy time where everyone's stuck at home, hopefully, and I just am doing this video for the first time. Hi, Annie. Hi, Mason. All you need is your mat and yourself, maybe a water bottle, some soft, comfy clothes. We're going to do a little bit of basic mat Pilates for like a half an hour. And, you know, you can tune in, tune out, do whatever. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes for people to join in, and then we'll get started in a few minutes. And I hope that I can do this maybe every day, maybe other day, because I know I'm going to get a little stir crazy here. So I hope that you guys can join me as much as possible for this fun little Pilates party. I love you, Jazzy. All right, well, I posted a memo earlier. I'm not going to play any music on my end because just want you guys to be able to hear me, but you can totally feel free to play a little music. I love Thievery Corporation. Keeps a nice little chill, upbeat tempo for this, but that way you can hear me and then you can jam along to your own little beats and whatever. So we'll get going here in a couple minutes. Again, you just need your mat and some comfy clothes, and we're going to start lying down on our mats. Feel free, if you have any pressing questions, just to ask them on the live video, and I'll try to like pop up if there's anything like crazy to address. Let's get started. So you have your little space. You don't even need a mat. We're going to scooch forwards on the mat. And we're going to start on our sit bones, and we're going to grab the back of our thighs and sit really tall. And you can give those thighs a little pull and just feel yourself really, really nice and tall from those sit bones all the way up to the crown of your head. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just tuck your tail, scoop your belly, and start to roll back just a little bit. And then as you inhale, stacking back up tall. And then exhale, scooping back, starting to roll. And inhale, stacking back up tall. And you're just still holding on to your legs as the brakes, right? Just to slow everything down and warming up that belly, because that's what's going to help you roll down and help control the movement of your pelvic area. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Exhale, tuck and scoop. And inhale, stacking up tall. And now this time we're going to roll all the way down. Exhale, scoop that pelvis. You can't see because my arm's in the way. We're going to roll all the way down. And when you can't reach your thighs anymore, you're just going to let go. And use those abs to roll the rest of the way down. And let those arms come all the way up above by your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, let those arms float all the way up and over, down by your sides. And then let's scooch those feet in. Bring the feet all the way together, bending those knees, and then we're going to make a little V shape with the feet, scooting the toes out, and then lift those heels up and scoot those right behind the toes, so that we have a nice parallel, even space between the feet and the knees as well. Now, I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about pelvic tilt because this is super important in Pilates. So, take your hands and you're going to make a little triangle with your hands. Where your fingertips are is going to go right by your pubic bones. And I'm going to turn so you guys can see a little bit right here. Your pubic bone, you only have one. And then the heels of your hands are going to go right on your hip bones or right near your hip bones. And now the forward tilt is when the pubic bone tilts down and your hip bones tilt upwards. And I'm over exaggerating this to show you guys. And then the posterior or back tilt, flattening, is when those hip bones travel down and the pubic bone tilts upwards. So our forward tilt, anterior, and our posterior or back tilt. I also call that flattening the lower back or sacrum. So we're just going to go into these movements here, rocking back and forth in that pelvic tilt. And you can keep your hands here, or you can just let your arms rest by your sides. Now the breathing for this is our inhale as we forward tilt and our exhale as we posterior tilt. And our glutes are not squeezing on this one, but we're feeling that work in our lower back, lower obliques, and lower abdominal muscles. We're waking up all of those muscles in the pelvic area. Now, at the same time as we're doing those pelvic tilts, we're going to think about the breath in the lungs and the rib cage, and this is super important, especially right now. So we're going to try, we're three-dimensional people, we're going to get that breath going in the whole area of the ribs. So think about as you're forward tilting, you're breathing in and you're letting that air go into the sides and the back of the ribs. And as we exhale and back tilt, we close those ribs in and we tighten the belly into the floor. Inhale, forward tilt, just expanding. And exhale, scooping that belly and flattening. So again, not pushing into the feet and not squeezing the glutes. It's all happening from the belly and from the trunk muscles. From here, we're going to go right into our bridge, and we're going to do that rolling mechanism to come into our bridge. Forward tilt, inhale. Exhale, scooping the belly. Feel your tail tilting up. Then you push into your feet. Scoop your belly even more and start to roll up into that bridge, but not like a yoga bridge. Don't let those ribs lift up. Keep that tightness here. The shoulders melt back into the mat. Inhale. And exhale, rolling the spine back down 1 inch at a time like a wave, coming down through that sacrum and the tail. And we're going to do our forward tilt again as we inhale. Exhale, backward tilt, rolling up through the tailbone, then pushing into the feet, rolling up, feeling those glutes finally squeezing, but not letting the belly go. Inhale here, and exhale, rolling that spine back down. So the tailbone drops down very last, and we inhale. Exhale, scooping to roll up, keeping those abs active the whole time. And maybe you don't come up super high if you're feeling a lot of tension in your lower back, but just easing into your own range of motion here. Continuing here on your own deep breath. We're going to do that 4 more times. Now, don't let those knees wobble around. I want you to pretend you're holding a little yoga block. If you have a yoga block, you could grab that, you could hold that, but if you have to run away, don't run away. Just pretend you have one there. It's just as good as having one there. You're holding those inner thighs. Inhaling at the top and exhaling to roll it all the way down. Give me 1 more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, scooping that belly. You're squeezing into that imaginary block as you roll that spine up. Inhaling at the top and exhaling to drop that chest bone, rolling that spine all the way down. And then we're going to find our neutral pelvis again here. Dropping the tailbone down. Inhale, reaching those hands up to interlace the fingers. Bring those behind the head and the neck. And from here, we're just going to stretch the chest a little bit because I know y'all been hunching over that computer. So inhale and let those elbows just fall to the floor. And exhale, let them round around your face. Inhale, stretching them open. And exhale, round. Inhale. Let that chest expand and exhale. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, open those elbows. And exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then we're going to find a halfway point, like 45 degrees. You can still see those elbows. Walk the shoulders and shoulder blades down away from those ears and just let the head settle in the hands. Your gaze is straight up at that ceiling. Now we want to keep our neutral pelvis here. We don't want to flatten. We want that tailbone to be right in that center neutral position. Deep breath in here. Exhale, lifting the head and chest up, up, up. Try to get those shoulder blades to lift off of the floor. Now check on your pelvic position. Have you flattened your sacrum into the floor? Try to tilt forward just a little bit so you're more in a natural pelvic position. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lift that chest a little bit higher. Inhale, and then exhale, lower it all the way back down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift the head and chest. Inhale, exhale, lift a little higher. Take another inhale, exhale, lift a little bit higher. You can do it. Inhale, exhale, lower it back down. You know what's coming. Take your big breath in here. Make sure your elbows stay exactly where they are as they lift your head and chest. Inhale, exhale, lift higher. Inhale, exhale, lift a little higher. And one more time, inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale, lowering it back down. Now your head should not be doing that motion. It should be coming from under the chest. Exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Dropping that chest bone down as you lift. Let's go one more higher. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale, lowering all the way down. Beautiful work here. Just let your arms stretch up or stretch out. Let those ribs flare open just for a second. Couple of deep breaths in here. And we're slowly just going to let those arms come back down by your sides. Now, if I skipped over neutral pelvis, that's just halfway between our forward and our backward tilt. So neutral, natural, where we should be in our anatomical position, walking around in our day-to-day life. So that's why we want to practice a lot of abdominal work in that position, so that we are more like that position through our day-to-day lives in a healthy spine and pelvic position. So now we're going to do a little bit of leg movement here. So finding that neutral, we're going to lift the right leg up to tabletop. So the knee is bent at 90 degrees. It's right above where the hip is. So from that side view, you can see that 90 degree. We're going to flex the ankle, energizing the foot. And then keeping that neutral pelvis, we're going to lower the leg down just a couple inches and back up. Just keep that 90 degree. I'm just going to do the other leg so you can see a little better. Lowering down and lifting back up. And notice I'm not arching my pelvis around, but I'm keeping a neutral pelvis the whole time, lowering and lifting. And maybe I'm not even going super far, so that I can keep that nice neutral position here. Really anchoring through the tailbone, and maybe going a little bit further, maybe tapping the heel onto the floor. Inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. Keeping that same leg, lowering and lifting for 4, and 3, and 2. One more here. And then we'll float that leg all the way down, footprint on the floor. Exhale to lift that second leg up to tabletop, flexing, energizing the leg. Inhale to lower just a couple inches and back up. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Maybe you're going a little further and a little further, but don't compromise that pelvic stability, right? You don't want to be wobbling side to side. Maybe you check in with your hands on those hip bones. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. 4, and 3, and 2 more here. And the last one. And now we're going to do our changes, lowering that footprint all the way down, lifting that opposite leg up, slowly lowering all the way down again, and switching. And always keeping that foot energized as it lifts, flexing, almost reaching the ball of the foot forwards. The toes are nice and flared. And those arms are pressing down into the floor to support you. The shoulders are rolling back into the mat. Exhale to lift. Inhale to replace the foot, and we're marching. 4. 3 more for each leg. Again, trying not to let that pelvis shift. So just move slow enough that you can get that nice stability in the pelvis as we march. Go for 1 more for each leg. And then we're going to keep the right leg up. Now, when you have both legs lifted, if the lower back is angry at you in this particular moment, flatten your lower back into the mat. Really deepen that belly to support the lower back. We're going to lift the second leg up into the air, keeping those feet energized. Then, lowering one leg down part of the way and back up. Inhale to lower. As the leg lifts, we scoop that belly deeper. Lowering the second leg and lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So imagine that your belly button's got a chain pulling that leg up and pulling that leg up. So it's not the hip flexor, but we're... And inhale. 3 more for each side, pulling that belly deep, keeping those feet nice and energized. 1 more for each side. Arms out to the side. We're going to squeeze into that imaginary block here. Now, the left hip bone is going to lift off the floor, and we're going to rotate just the hips over to the right side, and then pull that center. Check your knees. Are they in line with each other? Make sure they're perfectly lined up. I don't want to see them sliding past each other. Lift that hip up and scoop the belly back to the center. 4 more times here. Inhale, lift, and exhale, center. Make sure both shoulders always stay flat on the mat. 2 more. And 1 more time here. Now going to the other side, towards that left side, the right hip bone, that oblique muscle has to lift and work. And pull back to the center to straighten out. Checking out that those knees are in line, and we never let that shoulder lift off the mat. 6.
Because I set it up horizontal at first, and I was like, no.
And 5. The knees are stacked directly above the hips. Maybe you cross your ankles for a little bit of support here. And anytime we've got both legs lifted, that will offer a little bit more support. 1 more time. And back to that center position. Let's hug those knees in. Just rock some circles around that lower back. Take a little rest here. We're going to go into some chest lifting with rotation next. So planting those feet on the floor. Inhale, taking those hands behind the head. Remembering that neutral elbow position with the shoulders dropping down your back. Remembering your neutral pelvic position. So just taking a couple tilts with that pelvis till you find your neutral natural. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift up through the center. Inhale. Exhale, right shoulder lifts towards the left hip. Not the elbow. We don't want that to move. Inhale, center. And then left shoulder towards the right hip. Has your left hip lifted up? Anchor that guy down. You don't want the hips to move. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. You got this. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Don't forget to breathe. Twisting that air out of you. Breathing in through the center. We're almost done. 2 more each side. Anchor that tail. 1 more time each. Back to the center. And rolling that body down. Beautiful work.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, hey.
Exhale, lift that head and chest up. Inhale, exhale, right leg up to tabletop. Inhale, stretch that right leg straight out at an angle. Exhale, as you draw the leg in, we twist towards it. Inhale, stretching that leg out as we untwist. Exhale, twisting towards it. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. So the leg is extending at about a 45. Twisting towards the knee as we draw that knee towards our shoulder. Rather than flapping those elbows around, let's do 1 more time towards that right side. Pause here, placing that right leg down. Exhale, left leg tabletop. Inhale, stretching that left leg out. Exhale, drawing that leg in as we twist. Inhale, stretch. You got this. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, twist. 5. Stay with me here. Last 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Draw that knee in. 2. And 1 more time. Back to center. Place that leg down. And roll that head and chest back down. Go ahead and take your full body stretch here. And we're going to do some side lying hip work next. So you can use your bottom arm as a little pillow just to align your head really, really nice. And then we're just going to start with both of our legs bent. Your knees are going to be bent in front of you, and your feet are going to be aligned with your torso. So I like to stick my arm right down my torso and just make sure that the legs are right in line with the body here. Lift up the feet and flex those ankles. Heels are going to stay together. The toes and the knee of the top leg are just going to lift up and rotate. Now, don't let your hip roll back. We want to keep the torso really still, just the leg. And then down. Lift. And down. So we're feeling that in that little glute medius muscle right here. That peach booty we're going to get from doing 500 of these. Just kidding. We have 5 more. And we're going to hold after 4. And 3.
You know, like people are like,
And 2. One more and hold it. Now check out where your thigh is. The thigh is going to stay exactly where it is and your leg's just going to extend out. There's my foot. Tap those heels. And reach. And tap. And reach. So you want to keep that turnout of your leg, your knee and toe facing upward towards the ceiling as you bend and extend for 5. And 4. And 3. Last 2. And one more here. Pause here, lower the leg, and lower those feet. Now we're going to shoot both legs straight out and a little bit in front of the body. Take that top hand down on the floor for support. Scoop the belly button in toward the spine. Both legs are going to squeeze together. That bottom leg's working really hard to lift both legs up. The oblique muscle in that top side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, lifting those legs a little higher. Inhale, lowering them down. Now, you might not have a lot of movement here, but just think about inner thigh on that bottom leg to push that top leg up. And think about that oblique on the top side of your body. Lift and lift. And even if you're just trying to hold that position, maybe getting a little higher, we've got 4 and 3 and 2 and one more here and lower down. Now we're going to lift our top leg only, right about hip height, no higher than hip height. And the rib cage that's down on the floor, we're going to lift that guy up, just feeling everything nice and tight around our torso. Reaching that top leg out a little bit further, like we're going to kick through a door with our heel. And then we're going to reach forward 2 kicks, and then we're going to point our toe and reach back 2 kicks. And then flexing, 2 kicks forward, pointing, 2 kicks back. Try to keep your torso really stable on this one, pulling the belly button in. You could even use your hand on the floor to stabilize, totally fine. Keep that leg at the same height. It doesn't have to be high, maybe hip height, maybe even a little lower, but don't let it drop and lift. One more here, forward, flex, point and back. And relax it here, tap that hip out, nice job. We're going to flip right over to the other side and do all of that. Starting with our little clamshell. Bending those knees, and again, check out that your legs are right, or your feet are right in line with your body. Like so. Lift those feet up, flexing the ankles. Rotating that top knee and toes up and down for 9 and 8, 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 more, and last one, hold it here. Check out where that thigh is. Keep it there, extending that leg out and bend. And you don't have to lock out the knee, but just get that nice extension, keeping the knee and toe at a turnout. And reach. And 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and one more here. And lower down and relax it. Shooting both of those legs out, resting the head all the way down. Top hand down by the side or on the floor. Belly scooping in, both legs squeezing, both legs lifting up. Reaching those legs really long, bottom leg working hard. Lifting those legs up a little more. Lowering halfway, lifting up. Inhale down. And exhale, lift. Now try not to let that top shoulder creep up towards your ear. Drop it down your side. We've got 6 and 5. Belly button in. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And lower down. Top leg only, lifting hip height. Rib cage that's on the floor lifting up nice and tight around that torso, belly towards spine. And then shooting that leg out, really reaching that leg long. Reaching, flexing forward, 2 kicks. Pointing the toe back, 2 kicks. And forward, 2. And back, 2. Forward, 2, and back. Now trying to keep that torso nice and stable. 5 more. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Last 2. 1 more. And relax it here. Beautiful. Tap that hip out. Almost through here, y'all. You're doing great. We're going to go into some back extensions. Super, super important for all of you guys that sit at a desk. So we're going to come down onto our belly and go through a little sequence. If anything is bothering you, just stay with those first couple movements. We're going to add some progressions onto this. So first, we're going to get goalpost arms on the floor, and it's really important that you are exactly like this. I don't want you like this. It's going to be a problem as we add on. You are nice and wide like this on the floor. Relaxing your legs like so. Gaze is down straight at the floor. I'm going to pretend that you guys are my floor right here. Legs stretched out, okay? And then all you're going to do is you're keeping your gaze right down at the mat. Lifting your head, not your gaze up, but keep your gaze down at the floor. Just lift your head like you're going to make a double chin. Don't worry, no one's watching you. And then lowering back down. Again, just lift your head. So it's like I'm pulling on the back of your head and then lower down. We're going to do that just 3 more times. Just the head and down. And 2. And 1 more time. So your hands are rested on the floor. The arms are rested on the floor. And now we're going to lift the head. We're going to push into the hands and start to inhale and lift the chest. Straighten out the arms and just look forwards. We're in a little cobra of sorts, but the hips are always going to stay on the floor. And then we're going to lower back down, bending the elbows, rolling the chest back onto the floor. Start by lifting the head again. Pushing into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest, straightening out those arms. Shoulders are rolling down your back. And then exhale to roll it back down. 3 more times here. Head first. Straightening out the arms, lifting the chest. Straighten up. And then rolling back down. 2 more. And your gaze is going to go forwards as you lift your head and chest. It's not going to stay right down where it was because your spine stays long. 1 more. Lift. And lowering all the way down. Now, if that felt pretty challenging, keep doing that. We're going to add 1 more thing. So we're going to lift the head and chest. We're going to lift the arms. We're going to inhale and hug those elbows down our sides, the shoulders rolling back as much as we can. And exhale, reach out to a Y position as we lower down. Inhale, hug those elbows to the sides. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Hug those elbows in. And exhale, lower. Give me 5. Shoulders traveling down your sides even more. Exhale, lower. Puffing the chest with air as you lift. Exhale, lower. Last 3. And 2. And 1 more time. And then place those palms right under your shoulders. Press back for a child's pose or cat stretch, whatever you like. And take a couple breaths here. And then we're going to shift forwards, coming into our push-ups, hands and knees. Now, we want our neutral spine here. So neutral spine means a little curve at the upper back, and we want our natural pelvic position here. Don't lose this position. Scoop the belly in. We're going to lift the feet up, soften the elbows, and shift the shoulders and the chest forwards, bending those elbows and pushing back. Tuck those elbows right towards your sides and push. Notice my head is not dropping, but I'm looking right down at the mat and not dropping the head. Keep that lift. Exhale, press back. So just focus on bending your elbows. It doesn't matter how far you go. Give me 5 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push. And 4. Last 3. And 2. One more time. And pause here. Tuck those toes. Lift those knees up. Hold them just 1 inch off the floor. Breathe. Hold 4. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. Rest those knees. Take a deep breath in. Tuck those toes. Lift the knees just 1 inch. Can you lower the knees so that they're just hovering the floor and I can barely even tell that they're lifted? 3 and 2 and 1 and lower them down. We're going to do this one more time. Hover those knees. Ready? And 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Drop those knees. Sit those hips back. Let's walk those hands over to the left side of your mat. Breathing into the right side of those ribs. Walking those hands over to the right side of the mat. Breathing into the left side of the ribs.
There was a really cool picture that I saw. It's for like a Bluetooth microphone.
Coming back to the center here. Let's finish with a little side plank and then we'll come up to finish for today. So we're going to sit onto one side of our hip. We're going to place our elbow down onto the floor. Now you can choose if you want to do full plank or if you want to do knee plank. Knee plank, you're going to kick your feet all the way behind you, creating a straight line, knees, hips, and shoulders. For a full plank, you're going to kick your feet all the way straight out. I'm going to show knee plank right now. So to start, you've got to lift those ribs up first. Create really good stability in the shoulder girdle. And then we're going to lift the hips up. We're going to lift that arm up. From here, we're going to shoot that leg straight out. We're going to lift and circle for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Place that foot down. Lift those hips up a little higher. Stretching that arm up. Coming all the way back. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to that side plank. And one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, coming all the way down on that hip. Tucking both legs back. We'll just take our counter stretch, bringing that bottom arm up and over. And then we'll just take a little circle, sweeping that bottom arm all the way around. And then we'll swing those legs to the other side. Placing that other elbow down right under the shoulder. Kicking those knees back. Maybe taking that full plank position if you'd like. First, lifting the ribs, creating that nice, strong shoulder girdle. Pushing that elbow into the floor. Lifting those hips. Reaching that arm up, and then we'll extend that leg out. I know you can't see it, but it's straight out there. And we circle for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now place that straight leg right down on the floor. Inhale, lift those hips, stretching over. Back to side plank, exhale. Inhale, lifting those hips. And back to side plank. And one more time, lift. And exhale. Place those hips down. Tuck that knee back. And we'll take our little counter stretch. Deep breath in. Exhale, scooping the belly, sweeping that hand around. We're going to come forwards. Tucking those toes, coming into down dog. Letting that head drop down, letting the heels sink down. Extending the tail up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking any movements that feel good for you here. Maybe bending the knees and pushing the chest to the thighs. Maybe pedaling the feet. Maybe wiggling your tail a few times. Just rock out. Walking those feet forward, walking those hands back. We're coming into forward fold. Just release the body down. Shake your head no a few times. Shake your head yes a few times. Bend your knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, pushing into the feet. Scoop the belly. Roll that spine up and up and up. All the way to stand. Oh. Deep breath in, reaching those arms overhead. I'm on my knees, you can see me. Bringing those palms down to heart center. Give yourself a bow of thanks and virtual fives for a great first Pilates workout. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you all. I will be back 2 p.m. Maybe tomorrow. I will let you guys know. I love you. Have a great rest of your day.